Welcome to Blue Collar Sports, everyone, and thank you for tuning in once again to hour number 2 of today's show. It is Thursday, March 28th, down here in Boise, Idaho, as we're at the Pulse Radio Studio at Boise State University. This is the 109th show ever of Blue Collar Sports. We appreciate you guys tuning in. We've loved every single one of them, and it's been a great start to the show today. If you've missed today, we talked a lot of hoops and a lot of NFL. Big shout out to special guest Dylan McGee for stopping by in studio for hour number 1, talking hoops, talking NFL. If you missed any of it, it's all on our Twitter, all on our social media.
Absolutely. It's been a great show so far. It seemed like yesterday was our 100th show. Now it's already 109. So we're going to get this number up, and it's going to be crazy. I can't wait to get to 200. But it's been a great show today. Dylan McGee killed it. It was fantastic. Talking basketball, college, March Madness is tonight, and then, of course, the NFL as well. But now we got to get over to another sport that is finally getting underway.
That is right. Baseball is back. And real quick, I did want to go back to the NFL for a second because I just saw this breaking news. Greg Schiano is abruptly stepping down as the Patriots defensive coordinator. Weird news here? I was kind of confused, especially coming off a Super Bowl performance where he held the Rams to 3 points.
Yeah, this is a little weird. I know Tennessee initially hired him away from Ohio State. They quickly got rid of him because of the backlash with the fans, and then he found his way with the Patriots. Don't know exactly what's going on here. I know he's kind of had a sketchy little past, so I don't know if I'm surprised by it, but then it just means there's more details to come around this situation for sure.
Yeah, and it's the breaking news is worded weird to me. It says Schiano abruptly leaves as Patriots defensive coordinator. So I think there's definitely some little murky details knowing his past and knowing the Patriots. Something interesting is going down there, so we'll have more on that later. But the big news is baseball is back. It is opening day. There's been 2 games that have already been played earlier on, about a week ago in Japan. Big time Seattle Mariners 2-0. Let's go.
Undefeated.
They played tonight on ESPN against the Boston Red Sox. Can't wait for that. It's on ESPN. But lots of good time stuff going on right now. The Yankees-Orioles kicked us off this morning. The Yankees winning 7-2. Wow. I watched the first inning of this game I saw, and Stanton, Judge all ripped base hits, and then of course Val hit a 3-run bomb. So Bronx Bombers looking like they're back. It's a dynamic office. They got the win there 7-2, but baseball is back. It is good to see it back on television.
Absolutely. Like you said on Tuesday, this is possibly the best time of the year if March Madness going down. Baseball is finally back. Opening day is always it should be a national holiday, absolutely. Yeah. And then the NFL draft is coming up. That's always a great time of the year too. So this is a very good time. The weather's nice outside, so it's time for some baseball, and I'm excited to see it. We finally got some guys, big time free agents signed places. Manny Machado, Bryce Harper, Mike Trout just got a big time deal, and so they're all ready to go. But not everybody is ready to go, as it's a weird free agency in the baseball world. It's a little different than everywhere else. There's some big-time names that are still free agents that don't have a team, and most notably to me is Dallas Keuchel of the former Houston Astros. I don't know what's going on here, but he is still not with a team. He needs to tie up the Astros right now because I like this Astros team. I'll have a little bit more on them in a little bit, but I don't know exactly what's going on here in free agency.
Yeah, I've hated this MLB free agency. Because I've always loved MLB free agency because it's high class, it's old school, this is a sport built on tradition, and this offseason started reminding me of the MLB offseason, or the NBA offseason, which is fun. It's fun to watch. It's exciting. I'm just not a fan of it. I want to keep things like they always are. Guys sign right when the season's over, get to work, hit spring training, and we're seeing different. But the Dallas Keuchel situation is weird to me. Because there's a lot of big-time contenders that are in need of serious pitching.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Hitting is kind of taking over, but if you watch the MLB, the regular season is built around hitting, but when it gets to the playoffs, outs are hard to come by, and you need pitching. I mean, obviously we saw a 19-inning game in the World Series. You see coaches implement these strategies in the playoffs where guys are facing one batter, pitchers are facing one batter, then they're pulled. It's everything situational, and you need pitchers that are going to go out and perform for you. And so it's really interesting to me, especially for a guy like Dallas Keuchel that's been there before. He's won a World Series. He was the ace of that team. For him not to be signed yet, and I'm not sure what's quite going on there, but it is very, very interesting.
Yeah, it's strange. The big-time players like Bryce and Manny, they were kind of waiting till the very end to get these big-time deals, and I still don't believe those are deals that they were looking for. I think they kind of both wanted more than what they got. So it's been definitely very weird. Don't know exactly what's going on, but Keuchel needs to sign with a good team. He should go to one of these top teams that I'll have in a little bit.
What was really interesting to me, too, was Houston extended Justin Verlander last week. Gave him I think it was a 3-year extension worth $66 million or something like that. And they extended him, but they could have used that money to go sign Dallas Keuchel. So that's what really surprised me and really shocked me to see them go out and extend Verlander, a guy that's getting up there in age. He's obviously past his prime. Still a good pitcher. He's the ace right now. He's pitching right now. I got him up right here. Astros are up 4-1 in the fourth in the Tampa Bay Rays. So he's pitching well, but that is very, very interesting to me. But I have not enjoyed this offseason at all. I'm glad that baseball is back. I just hope these guys get signed and we can start watching them play again.
Absolutely. The offseason is gone now. It is baseball time. First games are today with the Mariners already, though, 2 games ahead. I also was going to say it's kind of weird that Boston is going to Seattle to open up opening night. That's kind of different. I thought Boston should be the home team tonight receiving their ring, so I don't know exactly what's going on there. But at least I'm just super excited to get the games going underway and have baseball on the TV.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, obviously I'm a diehard Seattle Mariners fan. I'm going to love that they're opening night in Seattle. Not Safeco Field anymore, T-Mobile Park. Sad to say. I don't like that. But they will open up with Boston tonight. Right now, the Phillies with Bryce Harper are up 3-1 against the Atlanta Braves. Bryce Harper, though, 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts so far. So not the debut he was looking for. Robinson Cano hits a home run in his first at-bat as a Met. There's 162 games in the season, so obviously games don't mean a lot. Not every game is a matter of life or death, but lots of games in play right now. Dodgers are up 3-0 against the Diamondbacks. And you know, Clayton Kershaw is out. So he did not pitch. Can't remember last time it was Dodgers opened up on opening day without Clayton Kershaw pitching. But Ryu's pitching really well. He's got 1 hitter through the third. Astros are up on the Rays, like I mentioned. Cubs are down 2-1 to the Rangers. Angels, after the Mike Trout extension, are down 2-0 to the Oakland Athletics, who lost 2 games to Seattle Mariners, so they are 0-2. But Mike Trout so far has a walk and a ground out, so he is 0 for 1 with the walk. But there's lots of good baseball going on. It's going to be a fun season. Yeah,
I know it's still the first day, and it's a long ways away from the postseason and the World Series, but I got a little bit of prediction already. I'm ready to get to it.
Let's get to it. It's never too early for a prediction.
My World Series prediction features 2 teams that are playing currently right now, not against each other, but they are playing right now. In the AL, I know the Red Sox are a great team, but I am going with the Houston Astros to win the AL this year.
They get back in it.
I want them to go out and get Keuchel again. They need him. Him and Verlander will be fantastic. But I want the Astros back in the World Series. They were so much fun the other year. Jose Altuve is one of the best players in the game. They got some great talent. Carlos Correa. I want to see them back in it. So I have them in the AL. And then in the NL, I think it's still very wide open. I think it comes down to 2 teams here. I do like the Phillies with the addition of Bryce Harper. If they could get some pitching, maybe they steal Keuchel away. That'll definitely help. But I do have the Cubs in the NL featuring in the World Series. I like what the Cubs are. They got
Cubs-Astros.
Great teteam, very balanced in every position. I think that'll be a fantastic matchup between the Astros and the Cubs.
I like that pick. I could definitely both see those teams. My AL pick is the Seattle Mariners to get to the World Series, as it is every single year. So not going to branch out. But if I had to truly pick a team now, the Astros would definitely be on top of my list. I do think the Indians are going to get back into the conversation.
Francisco's a great player.
They've kind of fallen out of the conversation. Tampa Bay Rays are also a sleeper team for me. I do think the Rays can get into it, but obviously Boston, New York are the 2 favorites. I thought that would be opening night. That's for sure. But look at the National League. I think this is where it's way more open. National League, there's a ton of teams that contend for it. I'm looking just at the National League East, and the Braves. I like the Braves a lot. I think they have a good shot. The Mets are a sleeper team for me. I don't think they're going to get there. But Jacob deGrom, and I got the box score today right now, did exactly. He's the reigning Cy Young winner. Went 6 innings, 10 strikeouts, 1 walk, no earned. The guy's incredible. They got the win today. He shut out the Nationals. But the Mets had a good offseason. They got 2 of my guys from Seattle, Robbie Cano and Edwin Diaz, potentially the best closer in the game right now. Yeah. So they had a good offseason. They're a sleeper team. But my pick in the National League is the Milwaukee Brewers. They were 1 game away last year. I think they're going to come in with confidence. I really, really like this Brewers team. Yelich, I think, is going to have just as good a year last year, or just as good a year this year as he did last year, and won the MVP last year. Lorenzo Cain, a big time player. I really like this Brewers team, so I got Brewers, Seattle in my World Series.
And Seattle still.
So I'll pick Seattle to go to the World Series every year.
A little much there, but definitely can see it. They are number one right now, so we'll see about that. But yeah, I think the NL is very wide open, like you said. In the AL, I do like Red Sox, of course, still probably the number one team. But the Yankees, I know I'm a little bit more on them than you are. I did like them last year. I did pick them to make it the World Series last year. Yankees, Dodgers, I believe.
Yeah, that is what you picked.
And I could still see him making it all the way. I was watching the game earlier. They got Troy Tulowitzki. I believe he's playing second base now.
Yeah.
So they got some talent. They're not just a home run hitting team anymore. I do believe they could be a base hit team on offense, and then defensively they're still solid if they could get their pitching together. Tanaka's been pitching pretty well. I think this could be a very well-balanced Yankees team that's going to give the Red Sox a run for their money, and I wouldn't be surprised if they could make it very far as well.
I'm not a fan of this Yankees team. Yeah. I think they are still way too much focused on the home run ball, and they're built around that. And that's fun. It's fun to watch in the regular season. They'll get to the playoffs. They'll have a great record. They'll hit a ton of home runs. They might break some records. But when you get to the playoffs, it's like in the NBA, when you get to the playoffs and the game slows down, there's way more half-court offense. Right. Transition isn't as big as a deal. Guys are getting back. Guys are playing hard D. So it slows down. In the MLB, like I said earlier during this segment, it turns way more into a pitching matchup and kind of a chess matchup, where there's just so much little things. There's bunting, there's stealing. Every base matters.
Great.
And that's what I don't see the Yankees excelling at. And pitching, and when I look at their pitching, Tanaka, I like him, don't trust him. Their biggest offseason deal, and I'm going to say this because I'm a Seattle Mariners fan, but James Paxton, they took our ace. I think he's a great addition for them, great pitcher, the Big Maple. So I like that, but I still think they're just too focused on the home run ball. Boston, I think, is a much more complete roster, and so I would still take Boston.
Would you consider the Red Sox as the Warriors and then the Yankees as the Rockets right now?
I think that's a great comparison. Both teams have a ton of stars. Both teams, I mean, Stanton, Judge, or Harden and Chris Paul.
Exactly.
But then you got Boston, who still has a lot of stars, but they all play really well together.
Right.
With Mookie Betts, J.D. Martinez, Chris Sale, and so I don't think Boston will get there this year because in baseball it's so hard to win 2 in a row, and I always try to stay away. I mean, I pick the Mariners every year, but actually picking it's really, really hard to win 2 in a row, so I always try to stay away from doing that. So I don't see Boston doing this year, but I do think they have the best team going into the season this year.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you on that. So we kind of gave our World Series predictions. I know it's super early. It's still opening day. The two players I think are my initial picks to win MVP. I got the Astros in the World Series, so I am going Jose Altuve. I think he's
for the AL, I'm going Mitch Haniger, my guy from Seattle. Most underrated player in baseball. I'm not just saying this because I'm a Seattle fan. This guy is incredible. He could do everything. He's not quite Mike Trout, but he could do everything. He could hit. He could feel. He's got a great arm, great power. Already hit a home run in Japan, so he's already got one on the year. That's my pick for MVP down in the AL. NL. I'm not going Bryce. Yelich, I don't like to pick 2 MVPs in a row. Paul Goldschmidt is the guy for me in St. Louis now.
He is in St. Louis.
I think they lost to the Brewers 4-5. That game is officially over. But
does St. Louis have a good year this year?
St. Louis, I do think they make the playoffs.
Okay.
I got all 3 teams from the NL Central getting. I got the Cubs, Brewers, and Cardinals all being in the playoffs, which means NL West. I only like the Dodgers, unfortunately, but I think the Rockies are good, but I think the Dodgers will win it. And then I do have the Braves in the NL East. I do not have the Phillies in my playoffs.
Wow. So Phillies are not going to make it. So are they too similar to the Nationals, probably? I would say so.
Yeah. It reminds me a lot. I think in a couple years they will. They're young, but I really do like this Braves team. But Goldschmidt in St. Louis, I think, gets the MVP, and Mitch Haniger in Seattle.
Very interesting. No Manny Machado with the Padres?
No, definitely not no Manny Machado. He could have a big year. He's the only guy there, so he could have a big year. But no.
We'll see. But surprisingly, no Mike Trout, who's making $450 million in the next few years, is pretty crazy. I do believe he is still the best player in the world.
Yeah, I think he's hands down the best player in baseball, making almost $500 million. But baseball is back. We're going to talk plenty of baseball coming up on the show. Not today, although we got some other stuff planned. But trust me, we will talk lots of baseball. Check it out right now. There's a lot of games going right now tonight. Seattle Mariners in Seattle opening up with the Boston Red Sox on ESPN. It's good to have baseball back.
Absolutely. Baseball is back. Make sure to tune into the games tonight, and we're going to be covering it all season long.
we'll see you right back here in a couple minutes. We are heading to break, but stay tuned. We got a fun segment coming up for you.